All right, welcome back to a brand new video. Again, the Target Individual program, talking about the individual experience. Just had to do this video again because I had a very good laugh. And, I'm laughing not because of it being funny, but because of the seriousness of what is going on and how, particularly we as black people and particularly black women, how they ignore the truth because they are so indoctrinated with religion. So, someone made a post that says, um, the safest place to be is within the will of God. Right. This is a black woman now. Trust His plan, follow His guidance, and find peace, knowing that He will lead you exactly where you're meant to be. He got you covered. And again, you'll own most of the time you hear particularly black men and black women saying shit like this is because they're doing well, right? So they're doing well, and again, it's that singular, it's that narrow-minded, tunnel vision, narcissistic uh, personality that they develop because of religion and because of the fact that they don't quite understand white supremacy, how white supremacy work, and that they need to have a certain number of black people in the middle class again, and also in the working class, right? To to say, well, we're not racist, we're not this and that and such, right? But again, when you look at the overall population of black people in America compared to black people who are in the middle class, the lower middle class to middle class is a very small percentage. Okay, so they'll do stuff like this. There's stuff like this: faith over fear, God's plan, peace in His will. But again, these are Negropeans who maybe somewhat doing well for themselves. They want to be up in the high society, which again, they'll soon get their wake up call. As we've seen, right? And because like I said, they're not even they're being used in a way that they don't even quite understand. That's why I talk a lot about cognitive warfare, okay, and psychological warfare and stuff like that. Because not only do my targeting, I can see what they've been doing to me and others, but also on a broader spectrum, right? So I start looking at how the U.S. government creates certain things, how the white races, whether it be the liberal or conservative, how they engage in propping up certain types of black people to say, look, black people, you can do this. Look, you can do that. Meanwhile, 80 something percent of black children in America is failing school. They're not proficient in math and reading, right? The highest number of group of women in the United States that year after year have the highest rate of STD infection and transmission are black women, right? Black women every year the highest rate of mortality, childbirth mortality, right? Black women are more in debt than any other group of women, right? Particularly education. Black women, the biggest spenders of luxury item when they can barely afford it, so they're taking out loans to buy Birkin bags and whatever bags and red bottoms and such, right? Again, yet, just because you're fortunate, right? You tend to not want to look at the reality of other black people. You focus more on yourself, your family, such and such, and that's the thing. They get tunnel vision. They're conditioned that way. This is why you don't see them speaking out on issues that affects black people, right? Because what? Out of fear. So when they talk about faith over fear, we know that's a lie. We know that's a lie. They fear white supremacy. They fear white supremacy because they know that if they speak against the white establishment who have been decades after decades subjugating black people to poverty, subjugating black people to crime, subjugating black people to violence, to displacement, they say nothing, right? And again, it's just a few of them, right? Not a lot. Like I said, I again, I look at statistics, and I know most of these Negropeans don't like, particularly the women, don't like to look at statistics because they'll say stuff like, "I don't like facts, I don't like statistics." Okay, I go by how I feel, right? That's their notion. So to take away their ability to think critically, to have critical analysis, gone, gone, right? That is no longer part of their psychological makeup, right? And this is what it is that they've been doing to us. And particularly, like I said, when you see these white supremacists, they understand, they know who to target and who not, who to promote and who to target, right? Particularly when they've been looking into our DNAs, right? Can go look up the history. Go look up the Department of Health, how it has been uh, taking DNA of black children, particularly young black boys, and doing research on their DNA. Okay, this is how they can come up with what biological weapons and chemical weapons based to target what a group of people's DNA. Right. So again, they don't even think about these things. Right, the Negropeans. So I started posting, this, I said, yes, God, the will, because she's like, yes, the will of God, and I put 15% of K to 12 public school students are black. They make up more than 30% of students who have been suspended, expelled, or arrested. The racial disparities exist for public preschool students as well. Public preschoolers are 18% of enrolled students, but are 43% of out of school suspension. So they don't think about anybody else but themselves. Okay? And the people that do think about other black people, they are destroyed. They will never get into the position to where they can help other black people, to where they can truly help other black people. Why do you think the wealthy, not wealthy black people, but the rich black people, because being rich and being wealthy is two different things. The rich black people don't do anything for black people. Their mind is, I want to be part of the white society. I'm gonna, if I'm not married to a white woman, I'm going to find me a lighter skinned black woman. I'm going to have lighter skinned children. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make those children, even if I have dark skinned children, I'm going to let those children date white young women, right? Again, no concept of understanding of supporting the black community, supporting black people, right? Buying, and again, the things that could actually make them even more money, like real estate, right? Buying real estate, building apartment affordable housing for your people, right? You will get more money out of that. So that if you're a black athlete, you can buy real estate, build up affordable housing complex. You can team up with the state. You will become so wealthy, and they have the financial resources to do it, but they don't have the mindset. And the reason why they don't have the mindset is because it has been conditioned out of them, right? And so the people that have the mindset to want to do these things, they will never promote or push to the top. They will destroy those people. Okay? This is how they think. This is what they do. So we gotta understand this. So I love to see posts like that because again, I love to throw in that dose of reality for them. And here's the thing though, once that cognitive dissonance comes in, they don't respond. They just block you, right? they don't respond. They just block you from the post, right? Which I think is ridiculous. But I understand their mindset. That when that reality hits them, or they see the reality, or they read the reality, it is like their brain goes into a different mode, a shutdown mode, and so they shut down. They don't want to hear any more truth. They don't want to see any more truth. It's just belief. That's why she put, faith over fear, God's plan, peace in His will. Right? This is the nonsense that they have black people, particularly Negropean people, believing. This is why we as a people will never move past our current condition. This is why we're always going to be divided against each other, because religion is more important to us than our black nationality. Religion is more important to us than the love of our children. Religion is more important to us than the love of ourselves. Religion is more important to us than the love of each other. Religion is more important to us than the love of our community. Religion is more important to us than the love of our African self. Religion is more important to us than our African history. Okay? So until we understand and learn the truth, and I was playing a video with Pastor Fred Price, and he was reading from A.J. Rogers' book. I have his book, and he was talking about, and in this book, history books, now this is black scholars researching, telling you who the true Judeans were. They call them, the European Jews are white Jews. They're not the people back in the ancient time that call themselves Judeans, because they didn't call themselves Jews. They call themselves Judeans as their nationality, and their religion, they call themselves Hebrews. Okay? Not Israelites, Hebrews. Israelites, in terms of with Moses, is the fact that they, again, they were not a nationality, but they were a people without a land. So you need a land to be a nationality. Okay, you can call yourself whatever. If you don't have land, then you don't have then you have no nationality. So Hebrews, all right, and again, that's their religious identity. Okay, but black people don't even want to understand that. They see this as just European Jews, and they those are the chosen people. Those are not the chosen people. Okay. There ain't no God telling them that they're chosen people. These were the people that the elites among their group that converted to Judaism, that told them that they were chosen people, brainwashing them over hundreds of years. Right? And so now these people will say that they're the chosen people. And we as black people, the religious ones, will say they're the chosen people. But not understanding that the Hebrew faith, black people, large number of black people believe in that. In ancient time. And again, you have to look at the makeup. If white people, remember, white people today, they're only 7% of the world population. Okay? So in ancient time, what percentage of the population of the world do you think they were? See, these are things that they don't talk about. So the vast majority of people in that region were black people. Okay? Yes, you had an admixture of black people and black people who turned Asiatic in terms of the lighter skin complexion and have you, but they were still black. They were still black. Within the past 1,000 years, right, what the Europeans have done was went on a whitewashing world pillage, raping women to produce lighter skin offsprings in order to increase their population number. Because when they start to realize that shit, we just only a tiny amount of us. Okay, go and look and see what they did in India. All right, when they create the caste system in India. Okay, all of the people in India were black because black people migrated from Africa to India, and India was called East Ethiopia. Okay. And so they literally produce lighter skinned heirs through sexual assault, through rape. And you look at India today, where the population are lighter skinned because they kept that going and going and going to where the lighter skinned Indians, right, think that they're white. But the vast majority of people in India are black. They're blacker than me. But they'll tell you that they're not black, because they don't know their history. All right? Anyway, always remember, the further back you go into history, you will always see and find the origin of the people who settle in those areas, and they will always be black and African. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.